Great South Run was on last weekend. For me, it was supposed to be my big target race. I came off the back of Overton 5 miles in September, and this race was going to be to see how I've been progressing. Lots happened between those two races, so let's have a chat about what I've been doing training wise, how I got on, and where I go next. So back in September, when I ran Overton 5 miles, it was more of a fitness test. I didn't really taper for it, and it was more to see where I was at after 11 weeks of being back from injury. When I say 11 weeks, 3 of those weeks were very much easy, steady running. Another 3 was slowly adding in sessions, only small ones to begin with, and slowly building them up. And then 5 or so weeks of hitting bigger sessions. So it felt like the right time to see where the fitness was at. It wasn't going to be great, it wasn't going to be pretty, but you need to know. Considering Overton 5 is a bit of a bumpy one, I was pretty happy with the 25:53 I ran. It was miles off where I was before injury, but that's not the point. I was definitely making progress again, and that's all I cared about. My eyes were then set towards Great South Run, which is the legendary event across the south coast of the country. I knew a PB was about as likely as the average Joes winning the Los Angeles dodgeball event, but you know what? They did. You can't stop me dreaming. But annoyingly, after I ran Overton, I knew something was up. My calf/shin was an absolute bit. The limp I suddenly gained was about as bad as the people who say Ed Sheeran isn't any good. He's a global superstar for a reason, bro. After a couple of days of it not really getting any better with complete rest, I went to a physio to go have it checked out. And apparently, I'd irritated my tibialis. What was more irritated was me, because I was due to go to Font-Romeu, which is a high altitude resort in the Pyrenees, so it was going to be my first taste of altitude training. It looked like I wasn't going to be able to run. I still went to Font though and had an absolutely amazing time. If you ever get the opportunity to go, then absolutely go. Don't think twice. The scenery makes you think you're in some kind of film set, and the calibre of athletes out there is extraordinary. Mo Farah, Bashir Abdi, so is Phil Sessman and Rose Harvey. And if you don't know who they are, they were the first Brits across the line during the London Marathon. Plus, there's a plethora of other international athletes out there. It made you really want to up your game and be more like them. It made the pros seem far more human, and it makes you want to have what they have. Yeah, you could say I was pretty motivated. Spent tens of hours in the gym there, absolutely beasting myself. I was on the elliptical trainer, I was on the static bike, and you can bet I was hitting those weights hard. Not really the experience I wanted, but by God, I was gonna make it a decent one. Training at altitude was interesting. My heart rate was higher than some geezer with a dodgy moustache walking past the primary school. Get it? Right up to about 120 just walking up a hill. Also seemed like I was thirsty a lot more. Apparently, and it does make sense, your respiration rate goes up when you're in altitude. It's because the air is thinner. It's also way more tired during the day. Not too sure about that one, but it's highly likely it was because everything was slightly more tough to do at altitude than it was at sea level. Or could have been I was spending a lot of time in the gym, or it just could have been because I was around a lot more French people. Did actually manage to get a few runs in, which was absolutely banging. Nothing too serious, but they were good to actually be able to run out in front. And even running it easy, I managed to get the ticker right up to 170 heart rate. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. It is crazy what difference it makes being up there. But annoyingly, that setback killed any chances of me doing anything serious at Great South Run. I was too out of shape, too little time, and too unconditioned to be able to hit it hard. My aim now is consistency. Don't need to rush back into training and be hitting amazing weeks. So last Saturday, the day before Great South Run, I decided to have a little fitness tester, and I ran Southampton parkrun quite hard. For those of you who don't know, Southampton parkrun has 2 hills in. One smaller one bigger one. The first one is pretty mini, and you get it within the first mile of the rim. You come down the downhill, you loop back round, come up that mini incline again, but instead of turning right down the hill, you turn left and then keep climbing upwards. Fantastic. It means you get an amazing downhill finish, but annoyingly for me, who wasn't quite in the shape they wanted to be, completely killed my legs. It has you digging way deeper far earlier into a 5k than you necessarily want to. I came in behind a geezer who was wearing some 1990s gym vest, guy in a rather room top, and an 800 meter specialist. Hashtag elite. Still, I'll take my 15:26 clock in. It's something to improve on. Great South came round the following day, and it was as special as ever. It was amazing to see the amount of people out supporting the event, and also I was able to cheer on plenty of athletes who were coming the other way during the switchbacks. I obviously didn't hit it hard. I was chatting to one of my mates at the start line, and I helped him dip that 60-minute barrier. Always a pleasure to be able to help someone else out in a race if you know you're not going to have the one you wanted yourself. It was also fab to be able to help my mum out and run the final last mile with her. She did fantastically well and smashed the goal she'd been aiming for the last few months. I'm super proud of her. So, where does that leave me now? Well, my main objective is to stay healthy and fit for the remaining part of the year. I need weeks of consistency under my belt before I start to do anything majorly serious. I have a couple of races in mind, try and keep me sharp, but between now and the new year, there's nothing I would consider an A race. I won't be losing any sleep over them, probably. Everyone gets pretty much nerves. As ever, I hope your running is going well. Be awesome if you could like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Have a good look through my old videos. There's a decent amount of them now. Otherwise, I've been the Learning Runner, and I'll catch you in the next one.